Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Virginia and I was wondering if anyone else out there recites the Liturgy of the Hours. If you do you do the 4-volume? Do you do the Christian prayer? Have you even heard of it? This channel is not necessarily going to be about how to do it. There's a million videos out there that can do it way better than I can. But I was wondering if I'm the only one out there doing this, because I went looking on YouTube for another Catholic Christian lady that's doing Bible study. And I'll tell you what, you can throw a stone and hit a ton of Protestant Bible study people doing this. But I'm not seeing very many Catholics. So I started something in September that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. I am a lay Carmelite, and I would like to invite you on this journey of what I'm calling fill in the blanks. Okay, so what is fill in the blanks? Well, many years ago, doing the Liturgy of the Hours, and let me back up just a little bit. I am like I said earlier, I'm a lay Carmelite, and I have been doing the Divine Office, the Liturgy of the Hours, for about 30 years. Now, there are several versions of the Divine Office, the Liturgy of the Hours. There's the Christian prayer, which has morning and evening, and I haven't taken the time to see if there's a night prayer in here. I would hope there is, but I've had this for a very long time, and I didn't use it very often. What I do use is the 4-volume. And it has a volume for the entire liturgical year. Starts with Advent, and then it goes right into Easter, Lent and Easter, and then there's 2 volumes of Ordinary Time. Now, I have several sets of these because I also teach it. So I have several of the volumes on loan. But this is my personal daily driver here. I have this beautiful cover I got off of Etsy. And also this sticker, Our Lady of Mount Carmel, because I'm a Carmelite. Okay, so many years ago, I had this brilliant idea that I would like to go deeper in my study of Scripture. And even though I read the Office of Readings, which is the first hour of the day, there is what is called a first reading after you do the Psalms and Canticles and whatnot. And this first reading led me to understand right away that there were certain parts of this reading. For example, this past week that I've been doing this, we're in the book of Deuteronomy. And we started in, just real briefly, I don't want to bore you, I just want to let you know what the channel is about. We started with, it was the second Sunday in Ordinary Time. And the first Office of Readings was chapter 1, verse 1, only verse 1. And then it jumped to chapter 6 through 18. So I realized right away that we're missing chunks in our readings in the Office of Readings, which makes perfect sense because it's not the Bible. But many years ago, I thought, well, I'm going to take the time, energy, and effort to fill in the blanks. And I had really good intentions, but that didn't go very far. And that was my first awakening, realizing that I needed to dig deeper into Scripture. But nothing was really holding my interest. Picking up the Bible, I took a couple of Bible studies at church, and I wasn't real thrilled with it. I don't know what was lacking, what was missing, but it just didn't do it for me. So many years went by, and Bishop Barron's Word on Fire Bible landed in my hands. Now, this is the second volume, which is Acts, Letters, and Revelations. The first one was the Gospels, and it was just as thick as this, just the 4 Gospels. It was really, really thick. But the reason why it's so thick is because it is filled with tons of commentary from himself, Bishop Barron, Fulton Sheen, Augustine, you name it. And the Bible and he was very smart with releasing the Gospels first, because we all know those stories. And then when you add commentaries with all those stories, it came alive for me. I just fell in love with Scripture. And also this Bible is filled with beautiful pictures and images and, oh my goodness, art. And he explains the Catholicism and what it really means in a lot of the art. I have a very good friend that took art as one of her majors in college. And in those kinds of art classes, they talk about the medium that was used. It was oil or water, or who the artist was and his history and whatnot, but not exactly what the image itself, the art itself told. And we've learned so much going through Bishop Barron's Word on Fire. So I am halfway through, and I finished the Gospels in about 5 weeks. That's how on fire. It was a page turner for me. And I'm halfway through this one. Again, the second volume is Acts, Letters, and Revelations. I'm right in the introduction to Colossians. And I had to put that down for a little while because I was going crazy with so much information. Because at that exact same time, I also discovered St. Paul Center. The St. Paul Center Biblical Studies, I found on YouTube that I was watching continuous videos from the St. Paul Center. John Bergsma, Scott Hahn, of course, Shane Owens, and the list just goes on and on. I could not stop. Once God lit that fire inside of me, it just continued. So I joined the St. Paul Center, and I got this mammoth of a Bible, the Catholic Study Bible. And it is huge. It is so thick. And I decided right then and there, okay, now's the time to do this. I am going to do it. I'm going to get going. And so what I've been doing since September is I will fill in the blanks. So for example, like I said, with Deuteronomy this past week, I'm missing a section and I'm filling that in. First of all, I'm reading the introduction in the Ignatius Study Bible. So I read the introduction to Deuteronomy, and then I start with my daily reading, and then I come over here and I fill in the blanks. And I've been doing that every day. And since September, I have read so many books. I'm going to have them scroll here to show you how many books I've done. So that's pretty much what this channel is going to be about. I'm going to try and condense my daily time into one video. I'm going to be posting them every Monday for the previous week and then prepare for the next week. I'm also going to do a video on my Carmelite journey, what got me involved in the Carmelite family. And that's been going on since 1997, and I'm really excited to share that with you as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that in 1 or 2 parts, but you can probably click a link somewhere wherever I plan on putting it to hear that story and follow along on my journey. I hope more Catholic ladies do these kinds of things, and somewhere along the line, I'm sure I'm going to be talking about how to do the Liturgy of the Hours, but that's not the focus of this channel. The channel will be focusing on the daily readings through the Liturgy of the Hour, what I'm calling fill in the blanks. So I hope you'll join me on this journey. And make sure you subscribe and like and follow. Thank you.